Welcome back, friends. In this video we'll talk about choice of evolution plan. Okay, so the topics are evolution plan, interaction of evolution technique, cost-based optimizer, heuristic in optimization, left deep join order, and optimizing nested subquery. Okay, so what is evaluation plan? A evaluation plan is needed to define exactly what algorithm should be used. This one is very important. Okay, for each operation, and how the execution the execution of the operation should be coordinated. So what algorithm should be used and how the execution of the operation should be coordinated. These two are the main goal of the evaluation plan. Now we can see one simple example. Say three tables are there: student, result, and subject. Say roll number, name, address. Say 1, 2, 3, 4. Asa, Kishore, Lata, Rafi. Addresses: Mumbai, Kolkata, Chennai, Delhi. These are the fictitious addresses. Results: roll number, subject ID, and marks. Okay, and subject: S1, S2, S3, physics, chemistry, and biology. Now here the queries list the name of the student who got more than 85 marks in physics subject. So we need name, okay, where the conditions are marks more than 85, okay, and subject is physics. So marks is in this particular table, subject name is in this particular table, but we need the name. So definitely we have to merge these three tables. Okay, so the queries list the name of the student who got more than 85 marks in physics subject. Now to do this one, we can see here we can merge these two tables, result and subject. Before that we have to apply the selection condition, say marks greater than 85 and subject name is equal to physics. And after that, combined with that, we have to merge with the student, join with the student, and we need only the name of the student. Okay, now for this particular query, for this particular relational algebra, this is nothing but our evaluation plan. Okay, so here from this particular part, from subject table, we have to apply first of all, we have to apply the selection condition. From the subject we have to apply the selection condition. Okay, now to identify the apply the selection condition, we may use B plus tree indexing. Okay, so this is what algorithm should be used. And next is what then is from result table we have to apply another selection condition where marks greater than 85. Now you can see here we can create B plus tree for this particular subject name, or we can use, now suppose nothing is there in this particular marks, no indexing is there, so we have to scan linearly this particular table. Okay, so here subject name is equal to physics, here selection condition is there, and here another selection condition is there where marks greater than 85. So to implement selection condition, here we may use B plus tree, or here we may use linear scan. After that we have to merge, the result should be merged. Okay, so here we may apply the merge join. Okay, now here we can implement the pipeline. So pipeline, already you know what is pipeline. So pipeline is what? So after getting output from that particular operation, push the result to the higher level. Here it push the result to the higher level and then compute the result. It will not store into the hard disk. The temporary result will not store into the hard disk, it will store in the buffer. And after that, the hash join, here another join is there, we may use a hash join. Okay, and we have to join intermediate table from after this join as well as the student, and from that we have to get the we have to apply the projection operation. Now there are two components are there: what algorithm should be done and how the execution. So here algorithm should done the selection condition, and here the algorithm we may use P plus T indexing, or here it is linear indexing, and here pipelining may be used. Now two joins are there, it may be possible here we can use hash join, or here we can use merge join. Now okay, and to implement hash join, sort to remove the duplicate record, so sorting we may apply. Okay, so this is nothing but our evaluation plan, where what algorithm should be done for each operation and how the execution of the operation should be coordinated. All this information is embedded. So we have seen that what is evaluation plan. Next we will talk about interaction of evaluation technique. Next, introduction of evaluation technique. Now, one way choose an evaluation plan for query expression is simply to choose for each operation the cheapest algorithm for evaluating it. Okay, so that means what? Say we have to say to implement join, various joins are there. Okay, so which one? So take the cheapest one. Or do you know? Now to implement selection condition, there may be different choices are there. So we have to select the cheapest one. Similarly, here another join is there. So we may use the hash join, we may use the merge join. Okay, are you getting this one? So we may use sort join. So we can select the best one. Okay, so one way choose an evaluation plan for a query expression is simply to choose for each operation the cheapest algorithm for evaluating it. Now here selection condition is there. So here the technique we may use B plus tree. Okay, we may use sequential search. Okay, we may use say binary search. Okay, we may use indexing, index table. We may use hashing. So various techniques can be there, can be used to implement the selection condition. Now we have to take the best one, the cheapest one. Are you getting this one? So one way choose an evaluation plan for a query expression is simply to choose for each operation. So various operations are there. So here it is selection is there, here it is join is there, another join is there, here projection is there. These are the operation. So for each operation, the cheapest algorithm for evaluating it. So pick up the cheapest one for this, 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 like this way we can do. Now, to choose the best overall algorithm, we must consider non-optimal or worst case algorithm for individual operation. Are you getting this one? So, but to choose the best overall algorithm, say two algorithms are there, say algorithm 1, algorithm 2, and algorithm 3. Say three evaluation plan are there. So what you can do for each and every algorithm, for each and every part, say three parts are there, we have to take the worst complexity. Okay, worst case algorithm. So suppose here operation 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 operations are there. So for each and every operation we have to take the worst case. Say worst case, worst case, worst case. Then take the total cost. Are you getting this one? Now algorithm 2 is there. Three operations are there, 1, 2, 3. For each and every operation, take the worst and take the total. We have to add all this cost and take the cost. Similarly, in algorithm 3, three operations are there and take the worst complexity of this operation, worst complexity for this operation, worst complexity for this operation. So another cost is there. So three costs are there, and out of these three we have to take the minimum one. Are you getting this one? So to choose the best overall algorithm, we must consider non-optimal or worst case algorithm for individual operation. So three individual operations are there in each algorithm. Pick up just identify the worst case algorithm, worst case complexity for each and every operation, add it. We can get three costs, cost 1, cost 2, cost 3, and out of this cost take the minimum cost. Okay. Now, in addition to considering alternative expression for a query, we must also consider alternative algorithm for each operation in an expression. Are you getting this one? So, in addition for alternative expression for a query, we must also consider alternative algorithm for each operation in an expression. Now, see, this is for a query, for the same query. Here, two evaluation plan are there. Okay. So, we have seen the query. So, here, before applying the selection condition, here one join is there. After that, there is another join. Now, in this particular, before applying the join, selection condition is implemented. Along with the alternative expression, alternative algorithms are also present. Say here, to identify the marks greater than 90, we may use linear or we may use B plus tree. Okay. Now, to implement this particular join, we may use merge join or we may use nested group join. Here also, to implement this particular join, we may use merge join, nested loop join, or hash join. Are you getting this one? So here alternative expressions are there along with alternative algorithm to implement that expression. Are you getting this one? Now, given an evaluation plan, we can estimate its cost using statistics estimated by the method. Are you getting? So we have the method. So here we have applied the merge, okay, and we have to calculate the statistics of this particular merge. Means after that join, how much output will generate, or how much intermediate table or how much intermediate records it will create, it will generate, or how much intermediate data it will create, it will generate, or how much space required after applying this one, how much space is required after applying this one. So given an evaluation plan, we can estimate its cost using statistics estimated by the method. So we have a set of evaluation plan along with operations, and with the help of plan and the algorithm or the technique to solve, we have to attach the statistics. Okay, we have to estimate the cost of each and every operation using the statistics which we have already stored in database catalog. From the database catalog, query optimizer identify the expected cost, okay, estimated cost of this particular operation to perform this particular operation, and we have to, from that result, we have to identify which particular evaluation plan is the best plan. So already we have used evaluation plan. Next we have the interaction of evaluation technique. Next we will talk about cost-based optimizer and heuristic in optimization. Okay. Now approaches to choose the best evaluation plan for a query are as follows. First one, so two techniques are there, two approaches are there. Search all the plan and choose the best plan in a cost-based fashion. And second is what? Uses heuristics to choose a plan. Okay, so here identify each and every plan and calculate the cost and take the minimum one. But here we may use heuristic to choose a plan. Note that practical query optimizers incorporate elements of both the approaches. Okay, so practically we may use both the approach to implement the concept. So first one is what? Cost-based optimizer. So what is cost-based optimizer? A cost-based optimizer generates a range of query evaluation plan from the given query by using the equivalence rules and chooses the one with the least cost. So already we know, suppose one query is there. So with the help of this equivalence rule, what we can identify? You can identify different evaluation plans. So evaluation plans 1, evaluation plans 2, to evaluation plans in. Now this is what evaluation plan to solve this particular query, to get the output for the query. Now each and every evaluation plan, few operations are there. Now for each and every operation, we just identify the worst case complexity of each operation, and we have to add all this operation cost, and there may be the cost is what? Say cost is equal to 1. Similarly, here 3 operations are there. Identify the worst case time complexity of each operation. We have to add all this and we can get cost 2. And here 3 operations are there. Similarly, we can get the cost in. Now out of all this cost, pick up the minimum, which is the least cost, and chooses the one with the least cost. So that is what cost-based optimizer. Now we can see a popular example is there. So let 3 tables are there to join, say A, B, C. That means here 3 tables are there, n is equal to 3. Now there are 12 different join ordering. Okay, so 12 different join ordering means what? Here the formula is very simple. 2 into n minus 1 whole factorial divided by n minus 1 factorial. So here n is equal to 3. So if you put n is equal to 3, then what will happen? So 2 into 3 minus 1, it is what? It is 2. So 2 into 2 factorial by 3 minus 1, that is 2 factorial. So 2 into 2 is what? 4 factorial by 4 by 2 factorial. 4 factorial by 2 factorial. So 4 means what? 4, 3 into 2 factorial by 2 factorial. So if you multiply these two, and so it is what? 12 is the answer. Okay. So here 12 for the 3 tables A, B, C, 12 different combination may be there. So we can say first merge B with C, then resultant with A, or merge C with B, resultant with A. Here first of all apply this particular merge and resultant with this A. First apply resultant C with B, then A. So various combinations are there. So we can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 different combinations are there. Okay, and here we have to calculate cost of each and every operation, and we have to pick up the best one out of this 12. Okay, now see here if n is equal to 5, so 5 tables are there, so total 1680 total combinations are there. If n is equal to 10, 17.6 billion combinations are there. Okay, but the thing is, it is not necessary to generate all the expression equivalent to a given expression. We can see a simple example. Let we have a 5 tables A, B, C, D, E, and we need to know best joining ordering of the form. Suppose this is one given form. We have to identify which one is the best form in this particular form. Which one is the best ordering combination if the form is like this. So first of all, identify the best joining order in between C, D, E. In between C, D, what is the best joining order? And for example, it is like C, first of all apply D, join E, then resultant with C. And to compute it, it needs 12 join order. So we have just seen. So if three tables are there, so total we need what? 12 different combinations. So to implement, to know which one is the best combination for this CDE, we need what? 12 join order. Let this is the form, let it is a x1 because it should be the fixed. We cannot change this one. Okay, so let it is x1. Next, the remaining join ordering will be what? So this is what our A, this is what our B, and the best joining combination should be like this. Say we assume it is x1, so that is x1. Okay, now how many tables are there? 3 tables are there. So already you know, to identify the best joining order for the 3 table, we need another 12. Okay, so the remaining join will be what? A, B, x1, and it needs 12 more because here 3 tables are there, because we cannot change the combination of x1. So 12 more need join. So the total join ordering is what? 12 plus 12. So 12 is what? To identify this particular combination, and this 12 is what? To identify which one is the best combination for these 3 tables. So total is what? 24. It is not 1680. Just we have seen. So if you apply this particular formula, the result will be what? 1680. But practically it needs what? 24, not 1680. And moreover, we can implement dynamic programming for finding the optimal or the best join orders. And it is similar to the chain matrix multiplication problem. So if you already if you have already completed the algorithm subject, there is one problem that is called chain matrix multiplication problem, and it is similar to that. Okay, you can see this, you can watch our video based on this chain matrix multiplication, or we can say that, so to identify the best optimal or join order, we can implement the dynamic programming. So in cost based optimization, what we have seen, our goal is to identify each and every possible combinations. How many total operations are there? Okay, so let 1, 2 evolution plan. So plan 1, plan 2, plan 3, plan 4, plan 5 are there. Say assume like this. Say plan 1, plan 2, plan 3, plan 4, plan 5 are there. When examining the plan for an expression, we can terminate after we examine only a part of the expression. If we determine that the cheapest plan for that part is already costlier than the cheapest evaluation plan for a full expression examined earlier. Let suppose here the total execution cost is say 10, for example. Now suppose we are evaluating this one. Now we have completed only this particular part, and already the cost is what? It is 12. So if the cost is 12, obviously we should not proceed further. Are you getting this one? So we should not proceed further. So we can reject this particular plan. Similarly, to execute this particular plan, suppose total required is what? So it is say total time required is what? It is 8. So definitely we have to retain this one because this plan is better than P1. Now similarly, suppose to execute this one, suppose P4 to execute this particular part, it needs say 10, and remaining this particular part is there. So already we have seen that to execute the whole part it needs 8. So we should not process, should not check the remaining part of this particular plan. So we have to discard this one. Are you getting this one? So to implement this one, to select the best evaluation plan, we can use this particular strategy to reduce the complexity, to reduce the overhead. Next we'll talk about heuristic in optimization. Now, optimizer use heuristics to reduce the cost of optimization. Now we will see how it is possible. Now, transforming relation algebra query. Now we can see we can transform the query. Now there are two ways. So first is what? Perform selection operation as early as possible. Perform selection operation as early as possible. Now you can see, now this rule is heuristic because it usually but not always help to reduce the cost. Now what you can see here, we just see this particular table, okay, where now two cases we'll discuss. Say first case one, say two tables are there, R and S. Now roll number names are there, here roll number and subject ID is there. So roll number 1, 2, 3, 4, Shikhar, Virat, Dhoni and Ashwin. Here roll number 1, 2, 3, 4, subject ID S1, S2, S1, S3. So these are the subject ID. Now we need to know the name and roll number and name of the student who have enrolled in subject S1. So definitely we have to merge these two tables. So we have to apply join condition, join, and after that we need the selection condition. Or what we can do, now this subject ID is associated with this particular table S. So before join we can implement the selection condition, okay, and after that we can apply join. Now see here, if you apply if you apply join this one, say natural join R, natural join S. So the table, intermediate table will be what? This one. So R natural join S, this is the intermediate table 1, 2, 3, 4, Shikhar, Virat, Dhoni and Ashwin. So roll number 1 S1, roll number 1 S1, roll number 2 S2, roll number 2 S2, roll number 3 S1, roll number 3 S1, roll number 4 S3, roll number 4 S3. This is what our intermediate result after applying the join operation. And after that we have to select the subject ID S1. So we have to select these two rows. So 1 Shikhar S1, 1 Shikhar S1, 3 Dhoni S1, 3 Dhoni S1. So this is what our result. Now see, if you apply selection condition first, so from this particular table S we have to identify if the subject ID is S1, so 1 S1 and 3 S1. After that we have to merge this table, intermediate table, with this particular table. The output will be the same, this particular table. Now if you compare these two evaluation plan, this particular evaluation plan is better because it will create the small intermediate table as compared to this evaluation plan. Okay, so definitely if you use selection condition before join, so the cost will be the low as compared to this because it will create small intermediate result. Are you getting this one? Okay, so that's why it is say perform selection operation as early as possible. So if we apply selection condition earlier, so we can reduce the intermediate table size. But this rule is heuristic because it usually but not always help to reduce the cost. Now you can see one simple example. Now we can see another way. Now apply the same concept to implement this one. Say here our table is like this. So only one record is there, roll number, name, 2 Virat, and Ace here, roll number and subject ID are there. So first of all, if we apply the join, this particular join, so it will create what? If you apply this particular join, so it will create one single table. So it will match this 2 with the 2. So what is that? 2 Virat and S2. After that we may apply the selection condition S1. So it is null, nothing is there, it will be empty. The output will be blank. But if you apply this particular selection condition before that join, so if you apply selection condition here, the table will be like this one. So 1 S1, 3 S1. After that, if you apply join condition with R, so definitely it will create the same result, this one. Now if you compare, now this is what if you use this one, this is what if you use this one. Now if you compare these two, now in this case the size of the intermediate size is the more than this particular. Now here if you apply earlier, if you apply selection condition earlier, it will not help. So that's why it is called heuristic. Sometimes it helps, sometimes it is not, but it is seen that most of the time it helps to reduce the if you use selection condition before join. Okay, but it is, in this case it is not true. Now second is what? Perform projection early. So in this case we have seen that perform selection operation early. In this case we have to perform projection early. The projection operation, like the selection operation, reduces the size of the table. Okay, so if projection operation is there, already we have seen, say here suppose you need to know the suppose one more is there. Suppose we need say total here one more attributes are there, or say total, say here it is two, say total, after that say total 10 attributes are there. Are you getting this one? See, after that, from this particular, say total 10 attributes are there, but we need only these two columns. So what we can do? So we can implement this. We just apply the projection condition here, because we don't require the rest of the attributes. So already we have seen. You can watch our previous video. So perform projection early. Next is what? Now which one first, selection or projection? If two operations are there together, so it is usually better to perform selection earlier than the projection, since selection have the potential to reduce the size of the table greatly. Are you getting this one? So if the selection is there, perform selection operation as early as possible. If projection is there, so perform projection as early as possible. If both the operations are there, selection and projection, so first apply selection, then we can apply projection. Okay, now already you have completed evaluation plan, introduction of evaluation technique, cost-based optimization, and heuristic in optimization. Next we will talk about left deep join order. Now what is left deep join order? Now many query optimizers do not consider all join orders, but rather restrict the search to particular kind of join order. Now query optimizer may consider only those join orders where the right operand of each join is one of the initial relation R1, R2 to Rn. Such join orders are called left deep join order. Are you getting this one? So query optimizer may consider only those join orders where the right operand of each join is one of the initial relation R1, R2 to Rn. Such join orders are called left deep join orders. That means what? Suppose four tables are there, A, B, C, D. So first of all, we may apply A with B, then with C, okay, then with D. It may be 1. So every time we have to pick up the another wheel always from the hard disk, always from the table, from the initial relation. This is what. After that it is what? It is, now you can see here. Here if you join like this way, A join this one and then this one. If it is the case, so first of all A and B are initial, C and D are initial. But after join, this particular join will be what? Here it is not initial. We can here the left join is what? It is the intermediate table after this, and here in this case also right table is what? Intermediate table after join this one. So left and right both are what? Intermediate table. But in this case, if you join, so if you join this with this, so this one is what? Intermediate result after applying join A and B. But here the right part is what? Right is what? It is initial table C. After that join with this. So left part is what? Intermediate table, but right is what? It is another initial table, because in A, B, C, D are the initial tables. So we can execute like this way, or we may execute like this way, say first C with D, then with B, then with A. So this is also this is also left deep join order. Okay, but the combination is different. So but every time it takes the right part is what? Always it is the initial table, and left part is what? It is intermediate table. Or we may execute like this way: A with C, with D, with B. This is also another left deep join for this table A, B, C, D. Okay. So it is convenient for pipeline evolution since the right operand is a stored relation and there are only one input to each join is pipelined. Now you can see here five tables are there. So first apply A and B, merge A and B. So if you apply, so this is what intermediate table. So if you use pipeline, so here buffer, so the buffer memory must store only the intermediate join in between A and B, and here it takes the intermediate table from the buffer and it is from the original hard disk. And in this case, this particular, the result of this only stored in the buffer. Here it should be what? It is in the hard disk, So that means what? If it is like that, this way, so A and B with C and D. In this case, it is A and B, we have to store in the buffer. C and D, it should also store in the buffer. So the intermediate result of this, after this, in both the case, we have to store into the buffer. So we need larger buffer size. But here, we have to store only this particular part. So here you have to store intermediate result after this join, and you have to take it C from the outside, from the hard disk. Intermediate result from this, you have to take D from the outside. So if you use this one, so you need a less amount of buffer memory. Okay, and this is what? This is nothing but our left deep join. Just we have explained. And to execute this one, we need what? Big O n factorial complexity. Okay. Next, a heuristic approach to reduce the cost of join order selection. Now you can see for an n-way join, it consider n evaluation plan. So definitely n evaluation plan must be there. Each plan uses a left deep join order starting with a different one of n relation. So we have seen here starting with different. So here we have started with A, here we start with C, here with A, but here with A with B, here C with D, here A with C. Are you getting this one? So each plan uses a left deep join order starting with a different one of the n relation. Now the heuristic construct the join order for each of the n evaluation plan by repeatedly selecting the best relation to join next. Okay. Now either nested loop or short merge join is chosen for each of the join depending on the available access path. So already we have discussed about nested loop join, short merge join in detail. Please watch our previous video. Finally, the heuristic chooses one of the n evaluation plan in a heuristic manner on the basis of minimizing the number of nested loop join. Okay. Now why it is heuristic? We can see, just we have seen here. So most of the time, if you use this particular, it will give the result, best result, but not always. So we can see here. Here we may use selection first before join, but this is heuristic because most of the time it is true, but not always. Okay. So in this case, we have to say different joins are there. So we have to pick up the minimum and total and heuristically you have to select the evaluation plan. You have to pick up the cost evaluation plan with the minimum cost. Okay. So finally the heuristic chooses one of the n evaluation plan in a heuristic manner on the basis of minimizing the number of nested loop join. Okay. Now use of heuristic or cost-based query optimization imposes a substantial overhead on query processing because we have to calculate the cost. Okay. So we have seen here. So various plans are there. You have to calculate cost each and every operations. Or we have seen here various operations are there. Each and every time we have to calculate the cost. So calculating cost is overhead. So but if a good plan is there, okay, so good plan execution of the good plan plus query optimization overhead, generally it is a less amount of time it is required for bad plan execution time. So execution time of a bad plan is much more higher than total addition of good plan, execution time of good plan plus query optimization over it. And already you know, for suppose in application we have to execute the same query say n times. So we have to execute only one time to identify the best query, and we have to execute that best plan n times. So definitely it is effective. And if you execute the bad plan n times, definitely the total is at very high. So that is the use of this particular. So though it is a overhead, but in total, if you compare with the good plan execution time, if you add the execution time of the good plan, in total it will be very low as compared to the execution time of the bad plan. Okay, so we have completed evaluation plan, interaction of evaluation technique, cost-based optimizer, heuristic in optimization, left deep join order. Now we will talk about optimizing nested subquery. So first of all, we should know what is subquery. So what is a subquery? A query that is nested inside and outer query blocks. So we can see. And what is correlated subquery? So correlated subquery is what? It is a subquery that uses values from the outer query. Okay, so what is correlated subquery? It is a subquery that uses values from the outer query. Now we can see we have two tables are there. Say it is a student table. Okay, and say it is enrolled table. So roll number names are there 1, 2, 3, 4 Asha, Lata, Mungesh, Rafi, and roll number 1, 2, 3, 4 2 S1, S2, S1, S3, S1. Now if it is a query like this, select asterisk from student where roll number in. Now there is another query. Select roll number from enrolled where subject ID is S1. Okay, so that means what? Select roll number from enrolled where subject ID is 1. It will return what? It will return the roll number of the student who have enrolled in subject ID S1. So this particular query, so we can write like this way: select asterisk from student where roll number in the output of this query. Select roll number from enrolled where subject ID is 1. So it will return what? Roll number. So that is what? It will return 1, 3 and 2. So 1, 2 and 3. So that means what? Select roll number, select asterisk means all from student where roll number in 1, 2, 3. So it will what? It will display 1 Asa, 2 Lata and 3 Mukesh. So this is what? A query that is nested and outer query block. So this is what our this is nothing but our outer query block, and this is nothing but our nested query. This particular part is what? It is nested query, and this is nothing but our outer query part. Now if it is a query like this way, okay, though it is very trivial, just to give the example of the nested query problem or the optimizing the nested subquery. Select asterisk from enrolled where roll number in. Select roll number from student where student roll number is equal to enrolled roll number. So here outer query is what? This is nothing but our outer query. Select asterisk from enrolled where roll number in, and this is nothing but our inner query, or this is nothing but our subquery. Now here what is correlated subquery? What is correlated subquery? It is a subquery that uses values from the outer query. So we can see here roll number enrolled. Now this is select roll number from student. This is what? The subquery table and the subquery variable. But here enroll.roll number, this is what? It is a values from the outer query. So enroll.roll number is what? Values from outer query. So that means this is the example of correlated subquery. Are you getting this one? But this is not correlated subquery. Here student is there, no problem. Here enrolled is there. So these two tables are different. But and here the variables are this variable. This is the variable which is from the enrolled. Okay, and here the variable is from the student. So there is no relation. So but here we can see here this is what our outer query. This is what nested query. In nested query, we use the variable from the outer query. So enroll is means once again is there. So it is a very inefficient method. So it is a very inefficient method since the swap query is separately evaluated for each record in the outer level query, and a large number of random disk input output operations may result. Are you getting this one? So for each and every roll number, it will check the outer query. So it is a very what? It is a very time consuming process. Then we have to execute the outer query. Okay. Next, SQL optimizers transform a nested subquery into join where possible. So already you have seen that nested subquery is what? If it is a correlated subquery, it is a very time consuming process. So SQL optimizer transform this nested subquery into join. Now efficient join operation or efficient join algorithm helps to avoid expensive random IO operation. Okay. Now where the transformation is not possible, the optimizer keeps the subqueries a separate expression. Optimizer then separately and then evaluate them by correlated evaluation. Okay. So whenever transformation is not possible, so here what we are telling that if it is a nested subquery there, convert it into the join. Now if it is not possible, then optimizer keep the subquery in a separate expression and then evaluate it. Okay. Now we can see here. Now we have implemented this particular query. This is what? Nested subquery and correlated subquery. Now we can implement like this way. Select roll number subjected from student and roll number where student roll number is equal to enroll roll number. Now this is what our join of this particular conversion of this particular correlated subquery into the join query. Okay. So what is decorrelation? The process of replacing a nested query by a query with a join is called the decorrelation. So the converting from nested subquery, converting into correlated subquery into the join, it is called decorrelation. Okay, and that is the end of this particular video. Thank you very much.